So in the first two Star Wars trilogies, there's been like a big evil guy trying to get our hero to turn to the dark side. Join me, join the dark side. And in the expanded universe, it happens even more often. But it seems like it doesn't often work. Some people might say that's because the good guys are really good and incorruptible, but I think it's actually because the dark side doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, it's indisputably cool. They have cool clothes, cool names, and it's called the dark side, which automatically is a little bit cooler. But yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm going to explain why. Number 1, unclear goals. So the dark side's thing seems to mainly be acquire more power. Join us, get more power. But if you're in that awkward median stage between getting more powerful and being the most powerful, someone is definitely going to kill you because they don't want you to get more powerful than them. And if you're weak enough that you're not a threat at all, then somebody on that median level is going to kill you. Just because they can. It's kind of like a pyramid scheme where only the person at the very top is really reaping the benefits. But at all levels, you will get murdered by somebody at some point. For a while, the Sith just had what they called the rule of 2, where you just have a master and an apprentice, and this like stops infighting, because it's just the guy that you rely on for knowledge and the guy that he's teaching. And then when the apprentice learned enough, he would kill the master and take on his own apprentice. But like, the master goes into it knowing that it works this way, because that's how he became the master. So then once you become the master, why do you take on an apprentice? Apparently it's just out of an altruistic desire to share knowledge, which sounds like something Palpatine would have in spades. So okay, rule of 2 was weird. And then it was like, hey, why do the Jedi keep beating us? Oh, it's because they have lots of people and we have 2. So then at certain periods in time, you do see Darksiders who are a little more keen on recruitment. They see a powerful Jedi, they want him to join the dark side. That's just how it goes. But like, if the whole Darksider community is like this toxic, backstabbing, evil network of people just killing each other to rise to power, why are you going to go out and recruit people who are just going to kill and replace you? I don't get it. Do you get like a really nice recruitment bonus? Like, they work really hard to recruit these Jedi and then they get them and they don't know what to do with them. Like, they don't even want them. It honestly just feels like they're recruiting out of sheer pettiness. Jedi are so self-righteous that if you can get them to turn evil, it makes you feel really good emotionally, because you're like smug about it. And like, I get that on a human level. It is weird to recruit like a whole army just because you think it would be funny. Number 2, all Darksiders are gruesome monsters. I feel a little unfair bringing this up. I'm just going to be mean for a second and address the elephant in the room. Most of the Darksiders just look like hideous, gruesome monsters. Maybe that's why Palpatine wanted Anakin so bad. Like, it wasn't a prophecy, it was like he was gonna get this guy to be the good-looking poster child for the dark side. He puts all this time and effort into it, and then flash forward to him standing on the edges of a lake of lava, looking down at Anakin's mangled, burned, limbless corpse, and he's like, oh, great. Yeah, put him in the van, I guess. Number 3, they're racist. This one's really weird because, like, the why is so unclear to me. Actually, I don't even know if the dark side is racist or if Palpatine is racist. Palpatine basically used all these aliens' help to rise to power, and then once he was in power, he stated publicly in very clear terms that he was racist against aliens. Maybe he never hated them, and he just thought, like, that would be the evil thing to do, and it would be funny. I mean, the Empire is clearly racist because everyone in a position of power is a human, but was that like a collective choice, or is it like Palpatine's running the show, so he just sent out like a memo? Hey guys, we're racist now, so just keep that in mind moving forward. But then in the expanded universe, you do see a lot of other Darksiders being racist. So like, how did it start? Like, not to raise like a philosophical discussion on how racism starts. But we see in the good guys that aliens can have the Force. So if the dark side is all about recruitment, wouldn't it behoove them to just take everyone they can get? Like, beggars can't be choosers, you know? Maybe they can work that into the Sith code. Through power, I gain victory. Beggars can't be choosers. Number 4, they have a strict status quo. There's this story in the expanded universe about a Sith named Darth Malgus, and he's the only Sith that I know of that has a girlfriend while he's being a Sith. And if you know of more, leave them in the comments so I can write fan fiction about them. Anyway, Darth Malgus was in a mutual, loving relationship with a Twi'lek named Elena Daru. He also apparently looks like this. There's someone for everyone. Anyway, he spent years with Elena and they're basically married. There's this one book where a Jedi who hates Darth Malgus finds out about Elena and she's gonna go kill her for revenge. And just before she kills Elena, she feels bad and she stops because she's a Jedi. So Darth Malgus races to try to stop this happening. And then he finds Elena safe and he's like, oh my goodness. Oh, thank God. I was so worried. Then he fights the Jedi and he's about to kill the Jedi, and then he's like, I'm gonna let you go because you didn't kill Elena. You did me a solid, and I appreciate that. And the Jedi's like, thanks, and then leaves. And then Darth Malgus is like, Elena, I was so worried, and that's bad, so I'm gonna kill you. We're still in love and stuff. This is just how this is gonna end. Okay, so here's an idea. Kill the Jedi, even though they spared your girlfriend, because you're evil and you look like this, and then just take your girlfriend and leave. For the whole book, Darksiders are judging him for having a girlfriend and making fun of Elena because they're racist. They have to remind us that they're racist. The Sith are all I don't know if it's okay for you to have a girlfriend, Darth Malgus, because that's emotional weakness. And I thought the whole point of being a Sith is that you feel emotions. That's the major difference. The Sith code literally talks about passion. It's super lame. But I guess you should only passionately feel the cool emotions, like anger, revenge, violence, madness. Is fear a cool emotion? Fear is not a cool emotion. Well, what if you're a Sith and you feel passionately sad or passionately happy and you're just skipping around? Shouldn't that make you more powerful as a Sith? But no, if a Sith feels intense, love or sadness or joy, they're gonna all make fun of you and then also murder you when you don't expect it. And I'm wait a second. So the Jedi are kind and loving and peaceful and very safe to be a part of. The biggest drawback about being a Jedi and the thing most likely to drive people away is their very specific and difficult to follow set of rules about exactly how you live your life and feel your emotions. So if the dark side was smart, their whole party line would be that they're the place where you can cut loose and have fun. Try to be the cool uncle to the Jedi organization. Yeah, those Jedi rules, we don't have them here, man. The only rule is that there are no rules. But no, you get there and it turns out that they forbid all the same things the Jedi forbid. The main difference is just that the Jedi forbid them for arbitrary reasons and the Sith forbid them for evil reasons. Number 5, when you clone a Force user, the clone has Force powers. So in the EU, there's this character named Starkiller, and he's Darth Vader's apprentice, and he's super powerful. And then he dies. Wah, wah. Oh yeah, spoiler warning, by the way, for a game that's years old and not canon anymore. So anyway, he dies, and then in the sequel, he's back. All of his friends are like, yay, I guess he survived that explosion. And Starkiller's like, yeah, I guess I did. I don't know. So then the big twist is that no, he's actually a clone, and he just has the same personality, memories, and Force powers as the original Starkiller copied into him. Oh, spoilers, by the way, for the sequel to that one game. This game is also old and not canon anymore. And like the original Starkiller with his original memories, this Starkiller has been redeemed, and he wants to stop Darth Vader. So he goes to fight Darth Vader, and Darth Vader's like, well, you can't beat me because it turns out I have a million other Starkiller clones and I'll just fight you with those. So if it doesn't work out with Starkiller 2, he can just keep activating them and he can activate 5 at once to kill Starkiller 2. He has so many. So I had always assumed that the Force was a highly spiritual thing. Some people are gifted with it out of nowhere and other people aren't. So by that token, if you cloned someone, that would still be an individual. So same likelihood. Like either they have it or they don't. But it turns out that's not true. And if you just clone somebody with this cloning technology that's super advanced and readily available, that they'll just turn out exactly the same, powers and all. And actually nobody recruiting anybody ever actually makes any sense. Palpatine's crazy gambit of recruiting Anakin to the dark side could have actually been solved by just plucking out a few hairs or picking up that hand that was already chopped off. It's just lying on the ground somewhere. And then just making a clone and recruiting the clone. You know, like maybe have 1 million of those clones instead of 1 million Australian dudes. And then maybe have Anakin killed. Like just poison his food. In fact, why wouldn't you just clone yourself? Have an infinite dynasty of super powerful Force users who are a little less likely to try to kill and overthrow you. Oh well, I'm just gonna assume Palpatine didn't think of this. Maybe he didn't know cloning technology existed. Maybe someone should let him know that that's a possibility, that you can actually clone people. Yeah, tell Emperor Palpatine that. Could really help him out with his plan. So those are my beefs with the dark side. I mean, not that being a Jedi is a walk in the park either. Basically, if you're a Force user, you just have no good options other than to live in obscurity as a David Blaine style street performer. Well, that's all I gotta say. If you liked this video, please leave a bitter comment about something in the expanded universe that I overlooked. See you next time. Okay, so do you know what happened to Darth Malgus? He was so sad that he killed Alina, and it haunted him. And because it haunted him, he became so powerful. He was the most powerful Force user almost ever. It was great. And the moral of that story is kill your girlfriend.